Hi YouTube viewers, today isn't going to be the standard make something and come out with an object. What I'm going to share with you today is some of the things that I've learnt along the way, the equipment I use, as well as ways of joining balloons together, which I think you might find useful when you're creating your own sculptures. So the first thing is the pumps. Different pumps for different size balloons. I tend to use my little pocket pump for the small balloons, the 160s. Tends to take a bit longer to blow up, but gives me the right amount of pressure with a little bit of burping where we let some of the air out. So that one tends to be in my kit as fairly standard. The other one I like to use is a hand pump, the purple one from Qualitex. I would advise new artists to customise their pump to suit them. When I first started out, I used this with a loop onto a string that came out. I found this got in my way and I got tangled up, so the next time I adapted it, and what I've done is this is the clip of an extending tape measure that goes onto your belt, and I've used a lot of tape to hold that in place. Now what that means is A, it stops it rolling off the table, it only goes so far, so when I put it down it doesn't disappear off into the middle of next week. It also means I can clip it onto a pocket or onto the hook that I have that goes with one of these that I got from a cheap shop on a tool belt, and I now have it on my apron, so it just hooks on nicely. So really would recommend customising your pump. Those don't cost very much at all. My big investment was one of these. Absolutely love this, my filbert. Took a little while to arrive, but well worth it when it did. So if you can afford one, really recommend getting a big floor pump. Saves you hours blowing up balloons. So the thing I want to show you today is how to join balloons together. First technique is sometimes called a marriage twist, where we've got two balloons joined with a knot. One of them has got a slightly longer tail in between. What we're going to do is we're going to push that knot inside, and then same as you would do a tulip twist, grab it and twist it. So I'm going to take my knot, I'm going to push it right down inside, I'm going to grab hold of where the knot is and pull my finger out. I'll give it a good twist, and there you go. I find this great for legs on sportsmen, footballers. This would be the top of the sock, this would be the leg, and then it's a good join. So that's one way. Another way is using the raisin twist. I've used this in a few different ones. Inside here, you can see that, I have a little scrap of balloon tied into a knot. I've used a clear balloon so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, the first thing you need to do is locate wherever it is you want that to be, and I just give it a couple of twists just to make sure it's secure. And I can then take whatever it is I want to join. There we go, just put a little air twist in that. And I've just wrapped it in around there. So there you go, the raisin and the balloon joined. You'll have to catch that one. So there we go. You can also do that by tying a scrap around the raisin, and that just gives you longer to then practice to get that in place. Get rid of that one. Now this one is a little trickier. Takes a little more time to master, but I use this for attaching noses onto faces of my Postman Pat, Fireman Sam, where I'll use a 646, and I use this technique for attaching a nose, usually made out of a 150. I'm using bigger balloons today. Now you can see I've got the knot and I've trimmed it as far back as I dare before losing anything. What I'm going to do is, if I want it in a specific place, I'll blow the balloon up, make a mark where I want it to be, tiniest little mark, and deflate it. And then what I do is I put the balloon I'm inflating against the outside of the other one, roll it through and grab hold of my knot. So this is the inside of the uninflated balloon. And I'm now going to use a scrap to tie that in place and anchor it. Often end up using my mouth lid. As an extra pair of hands isn't always available. Give it a good tie off. You can, the other balloons falling to the floor, I'll pick those up in a minute. And there we go, tie it, cut it off and feed it back. So now you can see this balloon is attached to this one. I can then take my trusty pump and inflate it, and you can see there you've no bit showing. You've got a nice join. Much easier to do when your outside balloon is a big balloon like an 11-inch or a 646. Can be done with 350s, but a little trickier. Okay, just going to pick the other balloons up off the floor. Same principle. This time I've attached a bead to the end. And all I've done is thread it through the hole and tied it off. Same again. Flick the balloon that you're attaching to, attach it and then flick it inside out. Find your bead, and there's the bead, you can see it quite clearly. Again, same as before, using a scrap of balloon. Doesn't really matter what colour, although lighter tends to be hidden if inside. Give it a good straight tie off, make it a good knot. Again, trim off any spare bits, flick it back inside so you've got the balloon that's attached to the other one. And there you go, it's attached to the inside. This one with the bead tends to leave you a little more of the knot visible than the one without did. So I tend to prefer this method, but I will use this occasionally. So there you go, hope that helps you. Different methods, different pumps. Have a good time.